Good morning. Happy day to all of you. So we have, every time it's been like a little bit of like a lull that we've been on here, I basically come on here and say the same thing to you where it's like, we're super busy, the kids are sick, this, that, and the other thing. So I'm assuming by this point, a lot of you probably know what happens when we go quiet for a couple of days. There's just a lot going on. So as you can see, I have a sinus cold. Yes, again, I have a cold. And I also blew blood vessels in my eyes. I don't really know like how I did that, but it's just kind of like a comedy of errors at this point that like if it's not one thing, it's another. So I am here today to kind of pop in and say, yes, we are live and we are well-ish. It's been a rough week. So if you can relate, awesome. If you can't, also awesome. I hope you guys are really like living your best keto lives right now. We haven't come in here and talked a lot about it, but Dan and I kind of have a thing going where we're trying to stay as keto as possible until Thanksgiving. I had been holding on to a little bit of water weight from a cheat day that I had last week, so I'm pretty dedicated and committed. So today I'm going to show you guys what I eat in a day. I guess my hope is always that seeing what I eat in a day at my 1.5 year point on keto is maybe helpful to give you some ideas or to kind of like break you out of a rut. So first and foremost, I have a cup of coffee. It basically is black coffee with a little splash of a skinny syrup, so nothing really amazing to write home about there. When I am staying super strict keto, I really do like to drink just black coffee because then I feel like I can have copious amounts of it. So the sweetener thing, I don't do every day. So coffee, and I'm also going to eat this little noosh. Someone correct me. I think it's noosh cake. I haven't tried this flavor yet. This is the blueberry cake flavor. I tried the peanut butter and I absolutely loved it. It was like delicious. And I also felt like it didn't give me that spiral of sugar cravings that I sometimes get after a pre-made keto treat. Like some of the Atkins candy bars and like the Aldi brand Atkins candy bars and some of even like my own homemade keto baked goods tend to sometimes give me additional cravings for sugar, and I didn't feel like these really did that. So I hope that's the case for this flavor. I want to just kind of tell you the macros really quick. 18 total carbs. It has 4 grams of fiber and then 11 grams of sugar alcohol. So this little bad boy is only 3 net carbs for the whole cake, and I think that's amazing. Like I could run out the door with this and a coffee and be like living my merry life. So yeah, we're gonna do a day of eating today. It's not gonna be anything fancy or crazy. It's just gonna be a really real what I eat in a day. This one's good too. So far, I like the peanut butter one better, but this is delicious. I think it would be really, really good if I made a little bit of homemade whipped cream, like if I heated it up and did it as like a dessert. But for an on-the-go breakfast, this would definitely nix my craving for like a muffin or a coffee cake from Starbucks or Dunkin'. Ooh, it's really good and like really, really moist. I know it's the worst word ever, but sometimes it's the only word you can use to describe cake. And get some chores done, and I will check in with you guys closer to lunchtime. Okay, afternoon time. I am drinking my 5th bottle of water for the day, so I'm killing it on my water, which I definitely need to do. Everybody does. I don't care what you're eating or what your diet is. Water is super important to feeling your best. So even if you're like not under the weather or not doing keto, like drink your water. I am heating up some leftovers from the fridge. It is my cheesy crock-pot Mexican chicken. I'll leave the link to that video down below. It's basically chicken breast, salsa, hot sauce, and cream cheese, and that's just like the nuts and bolts of it. But I'm gonna heat that up, throw it in a bowl, put a little sour cream and hot sauce on it, and that will be my lunch. I'll show you my portion as soon as it comes out of the microwave, and I will definitely make sure to link that down below. I needed like an easy lunch, but also something filling and satisfying. It's kind of gloomy here in Florida today, so I'm gonna pop this bad boy out and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here is my cheesy taco chicken. You can see little bits of salsa in it. I'm gonna put a little bit of sour cream and hot sauce on this, and it'll be my lunch. When we made this for dinner the other night, we actually did it in low-carb tortillas and browned them on the stove, so it was like a low-carb quesadilla, and it was amazing. So that's lunch. Fun fact, I just realized that I actually videotaped myself making this cheesy Mexican crock-pot chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that footage in here so you know exactly how to make the taco chicken and you don't have to go scrambling for the link. You're welcome. Okay, so into my crock-pot, I am going to put this frozen chicken. It's going to be hard to get out of the bag. If you have defrosted chicken, that's fine too. I'm just using what I have. And I forgot to take this out yesterday. My goodness. Eventually we will get there. Okay, so a bunch of frozen chicken. Okay, so to my chicken, I am going to add a packet of taco seasoning. We get our taco seasoning from Aldi. They have a few different kinds, but this is the one that seems to have the lowest carb count. Then I am going to add a couple splashes of hot sauce. If you don't like hot sauce, you can go ahead and omit this, but we like things spicy. Then I am going to add a whole block of cream cheese, which is 8 ounces. It's a really nice, like, creamy taco chicken by the time you're done. We're probably gonna end up putting ours into like low carb wraps and basically doing like a quesadilla. Gosh, I'm such a mess today. Okay, block of cream cheese. Then I am going to add a cup of salsa. I'm going with mild because that's what I have on hand. So that's half a cup. And another half a cup. Yes, salsa has carbs, but because it's going to be amongst a few pounds of chicken, it's not anything that I'm too worried about. Then I'm also going to add just a little tiny splash of, ooh, if I can get it open, of jalapeno juice. Again, if you don't like things spicy, you can omit this, but that's about a tablespoon of the juice from a jar of jalapenos. So then I'm gonna throw the lid on this, and this is gonna cook for about 2 hours on high, and then I'm gonna turn it down to low, and it will cook for another 6 hours. Okay, that's how you make the cheesy Mexican chicken. Dinner's up next. All right, guys, I'm gonna throw dinner into the crock pot. I'm doing a Boston butt in the crock pot, and I'm gonna add some brown sugar swerve and just some seasonings. Nothing crazy. This is super easy. I love doing pork butt in the crock pot. Yes, my kids are home today. I'm doing it in the crock pot because doing it on the smoker takes forever. When we're doing a large amount of pork butts, we usually will do it on the smoker, but today it's gonna go in the crock pot. So let me show you what I'm gonna put in, and then I'll get it going. I have a half butt here that I got from Aldi. Look how inexpensive, isn't that crazy? And then for seasonings, I'm gonna do some brown sugar swerve, some salt and pepper, a little bit of chili powder, some paprika, and some onion powder. Okay, so I have my crock pot turned to low. I went ahead and removed the Boston butt from the package, and now I'm just gonna cut the twine off of it. Make sure that none of that ends up kind of hanging out in your crock pot. It should come out pretty easily. Okay, so it's out of its twine. Okay, so I never really measure seasonings when I do a pork butt. I just kind of eyeball it. It is a lot of meat, so you're gonna need a good amount of seasonings. So first salt, then black pepper. We like a lot of black pepper in any meat dish that we cook. So now the onion powder. I'm basically just coating the whole thing with the seasonings. This is gonna cook down and absorb a lot of this, so you can be pretty heavy-handed and not be too concerned about measuring. This is paprika. Then just a little bit of chili powder for flavor. Then I'm going to add a half a cup of brown sugar swerve. Half a cup of brown sugar swerve. You store swerve in the refrigerator, so the brown sugar variety is a little hard to measure out. You have to kind of chop it up a little bit. So that's it. I'm gonna throw the lid on, and this is gonna cook on low for about 8 hours. So we'll see you later for dinner. Okay, so it's not dinner time yet because we are at a birthday party for our nephew Adrian, okay? So I will show you guys our dinner as soon as we get home. We're basically just gonna be eating a late dinner because right now we are playing lots and lots of video games.
Hey, that's 25, buddies!
So I think typically a lot of parents with kids on the spectrum and just special needs in general have a tendency to be really anxious and fearful about taking them into these kinds of environments. We are too, but we do it anyway, and we basically just kind of let them lead the way a little bit and give them every chance that they have. If they're like sensory overstimulated, they'll wear headphones, hats sometimes help. We just basically feel like it's important to get them out into the closest version of the real world as we possibly can. Some days are a fail and some days aren't. Today is a good day, so I'll take it as a win. Let's go. Okay guys, so we just got home from this birthday party, so that means that this pork ended up sitting in the crock pot for like, oh my god, like 11 hours or something crazy. So I'm gonna use the spatulator and get it all ground up, and I'm gonna take a bite of it, but I'm actually not super hungry right now, so I'm probably gonna wait and use this as lunch for tomorrow. But I'm gonna show it to you anyway. Oh my god, it's just like disintegrating. Look at that. Spatulator. Okay, so I went to take a bite of it to try it for you guys, and because I'm so congested I can't taste anything, so it literally tasted like nothing to me. So I called in a reinforcement here. Remember this guy?
Nice to see you again, friend.
It's been a while.
It's really hot.
Yeah, it is super hot. It's been in there for like a millennium. Is it good? It's good?
It's delicious. It's not as quite as good as like with real brown sugar, but it's amazing.
Is it sweet though?
It's
a little bit
sweeter.
Okay.
It's sweeter. If you like your meat a little bit sweet, it's perfect.
I probably could have used more of the brown sugar swerve, but because it was our first time using it with pork, I didn't want to go crazy.
If you let that thing cook for 11 and a half hours, it literally melts in your mouth. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
It's
I'll
amazing.
show you one last little peek at what it looks like. I'll shred it up because it really is just beautiful. But I'm gonna go take some Theraflu
Stuff.
I have a really long wedding tomorrow, like a 10 or 11 hour day. So I'm gonna try and get some rest and hope that I feel a million times better when I wake up in the morning.
She has no choice.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. Have an awesome night, everyone. Nom nom nom.